back to the channel. Today I'm going to finally be sanding the first coat of primer on the Durango Hellcat in 180 grit. So I'm very excited about this because now I'm going to see if there's anything that I missed and if there is any skims that I need to do, which I really don't think there are because I felt everything seemed like it was pretty smooth and dent free, but there's always that chance. So that's why you put guide coat on it, and that's why you block it with, you know, I'd say the least amount of block on 180 grit for the first coat of primer would be like a 24-inch sanding block. The longer it is, the straighter the panel is going to look, but these quarter panels aren't that large and the roof has the slats on it anyways, so you're not really going to notice too much. So on this, I'm going to use a 24-inch block with 180 grit sandpaper. So I went ahead and re-primed all of those places I re-feathered out that edge. So as you guys remember, there was bare metal right here, and then it was, you know, it was just kind of sanded down with 36 grit. There was a pretty hard edge, and I ended up just sanding that down with 80 grit, and that's why I spot primed a few spots. So I spot primed this whole rail all the way down, and then I did the same thing on the other side. And then back here, there was like a weird little imperfection from, I think it's probably from, it was on both sides in the exact same spot. It was probably from the stamping process of the sheet metal. So right, kind of right here, it was a little low spot, and I just quick skim and then I sanded it down in 80 grit, and then I just re-primed that whole section so I could block it out and make sure we're 100% straight there. And then I also, anywhere I sanded it with 80 grit, so all the way down here, I sanded, or I primed that. I also re-primed all of those edges. So now what I can do is I can get everything sanded in 180 grit, and I'll wait a few days to do that because I don't want to sand it too quick, but I did the other side as well. Anywhere it was bare metal, like I said, got some spot prime, and we are ready to go now. I now have both sides of the Durango blocked out, and she is looking really good, and she is very, very straight. So unfortunately on the driver's side, I hit it with 80 grit again because I had to put a few skims on it. There were a few spots that I really didn't like, so they were bothering me. So if I was a body shop and I was using a DA, I would have never caught these spots. But since I'm not a body shop and I'm using the 24-inch block, you catch a lot more of those waves and those imperfections in the panel that really, at the end of the day, it just, it makes a difference to me. If I'm driving down the road, you'll never notice it. But if you're looking at the car right up close next to it, you'll notice those low spots. But these are just stamping imperfections. There was a weird one here. Like I said, on both sides, there was a weird one here and here. And then since the fuel door is on this side, there was just, a few little weird things here. So I just, did quite a large skim on all those areas, sanded it down. All that is probably the thickness of a hair. It's very, very thin. It wasn't like it was a super low spot. If I would have took just a piece of 180 like this and hit it like that, it would have got all that, the guide coat down, got all the orange peel out of it. You would have never even noticed it, but I noticed it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit this with some more high build. I think tomorrow, to speed this process up, instead of letting it bake in the sun, because tomorrow is going to be really cold, today is 60, I'm going to get a heat lamp. So then I could just go after it, hit this with the heat lamp and, you know, have the heat lamp on there for an hour, it will pretty much just be like 6 days in the sun or something, because the heat lamps do very, very well. So let's get this in high build primer, and then I'll start working on the roof. The roof is almost done. I just did a few spots, and I want to make sure that I don't have to put any skims on these edges, but I don't think I will. Driver's side is now reprimed, and I sprayed some guide coat on it, so it is ready to sand tomorrow. So what I'm going to do tomorrow morning is get a heat lamp, some masking tape, and some of the masking plastic, so I could put the heat lamp on that quarter panel, and then I could go, 30 minutes later to an hour, I could sand it and not have to let it bake outside for multiple days, because it's not really hot. It works really well in the summer, but since it's the winter, the days are only getting up to 60 degrees, and tomorrow it's going to be like 10 degrees. So it's not going to work out that well. But the passenger side is looking really good. This is going to be super straight. The driver's side is going to be super straight, but this is already sanded in 180. That quarter panel still needs to be sanded in 180 on the driver's side. And the roof is sanded in 180, but there was a few spots on the rails that I didn't like. So I'm going to put some icing on it. I should be able to hit it with 180 and not have to go as aggressive as 80. So I shouldn't have to reprime the roof, which will be really, really nice. And then I could get all this stuff reprimed tomorrow, get it ready for 320 grit sanding, which is going to be really nice, because then we could paint the car. I can't wait to see this in the green. But before you guys leave, I have my Chief Donut Maker video on my channel. Link is in the description. Please go check it out before you leave my channel and go into the other realm of YouTube, because I would like to get as many views as I possibly can on that. If you've already watched it, I appreciate it. Thank you. If you can, share it. But that's going to be the end of this video. Make sure to click the subscribe button, throw a thumbs up, throw a comment below. As always, see you guys next time.